Speed.
I'm still Jenny from the block.
Okay,
Used to have a little, now I have a lot.
We're gonna get copyright strike. Just kidding.
Well, we didn't start yet.
That's so true.
Just let me vibe.
You're doing so good. Okay.
I don't know why there's like a fire hazard on that candle.
That candle specifically has a fire hazard? I'm just gonna say we've started now.
Okay.
What? That candle has a fire hazard?
Look at it.
It says fire hazard, or it just is?
No,
one?
it is one. It's a fire hazard.
Well, I presume if you have
You
a
think
candle,
all candles are fire hazards? No.
I would presume most candles have some kind of assimilated risk.
Yeah, but look at
fire.
that candle, Aaron.
It's really big. The wicker. That's what it's called?
The flame.
But the wicker is big, so maybe that's why the flame is big. It's usually not that big, though. You're right.
There's something about the oxygen in there that's keeping the flame alive.
How does it work? I have no idea how fire
I don't
works.
know.
But that sounded good, like you knew.
Thanks.
So we're just going to move on and make it seem like amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like I haven't seen you all day.
Except we kind of have seen each other. It's because I went to work, and I don't know what Aaron does when I work, but what's wrong with the mic?
Nothing. There's just cat hair on it, all over it.
I was going to blow, but that would be really bad.
Yes.
You're right now. It's bothering me.
Just don't look at it.
What was I saying?
You were talking about work.
Oh, I went to work, and I feel like when I work, Aaron doesn't do anything. I think that he sleeps, and he pretends that he doesn't sleep.
What time do you think I wake up?
10, maybe.
I wake up at 9.
And what do you do from 9 to 10?
I get my life together. I get out of bed. I'm out of bed
and you make
working.
coffee. But you're working at 10:30. Working
at 10.
Really?
Yes. I'm up at 9.
And so I get off around 11:15. So you worked for an hour today?
You don't know who's going to get hold of this.
Your
get
boss?
Exposed.
Do you really think that your boss would listen to this?
Probably not. However, I will say I do backlog the time. So, I work into the evening. Vouch for me, please.
Yes, he does work. He is nocturnal.
Yes. Okay.
And he works into the evening, and he works really hard. He works his booty off for this job.
Amazing.
Blood, sweat, and tears every day. Every day he does talk about AI.
That is true.
And he's kind of like obsessed with it. Like, I do think that he's becoming a tech bro more and more, and it makes me uncomfortable.
Okay.
To say the least.
That's fair.
Anyway,
you're saying you don't know what I'm up to. I wake up, I make coffee, and I sit down.
It takes him like half an hour to make coffee.
It takes me like maybe 10 minutes.
Okay.
Which is still a long time. And then I sit down, I check my email, and then I begin. I get to work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it.
And then you make breakfast.
And then after about 20 seconds, I make breakfast. And then you come home, and then we hang out. But today we didn't really.
Today I try to go to the gym on Mondays and Tuesdays, but it usually doesn't work out.
That's why you went to the gym.
And today I just felt this spark of energy. I think because the coffee shop that we went to put like extra caffeine in their drinks today. We were bouncing off the walls. But I had like just a matcha latte because I don't drink coffee.
My head was totally spinning.
Am I speaking too loud?
No, you're doing. We don't have a producer here. So Chris, I know you have to make a pretty big decision in this next week. We can pay you part-time.
Chris is deciding, can we tell them? Yeah. Because who the hell else watches this?
Just Chris.
Chris is deciding whether or not he's going to move from Chicago to LA, or if he's going to stay in Chicago. Both options are to follow his dream of becoming an actor. But one option is kind of him discovering that path on his own in Chicago.
He's forging it for himself. He's
forging it for himself in the cold.
Weeds,
in the cold. In the snow.
Truly in the cold.
And the other path is him returning to his old friends, old connections.
His old roots.
His family lives here. His girlfriend lives here. His friends live here from high school, from college. And that's a lot to face.
That is a lot to face. That is overwhelming. Like, to his credit, I know that
I don't know if I could do that.
it would be inherently stressful.
It's also beneficial in the ways
Sure.
that you have a built-in community, built-in connections, but also built-in conflict.
Oh my God,
And
there's so
Chris,
much conflict.
We know how much you love conflict.
Yeah, that's true.
We just outed Chris on this podcast fully.
It's okay. We should.
But
just
it's out
tell
of
us-
love. We love you to death.
Yeah.
And I hope that
support you.
if you feel conflicted ever, you call us and we can do what we're doing right now.
Yeah. Well, we support you no matter what. And
Where were we?
it'll be good.
Why were we? Oh,
I have
because
no
if
idea.
you move here,
oh yes, we will pay you. I can't say how much now. We have no benefits.
Aaron
But-
will pay you.
Yes.
I will feed you.
Again, I think it adds to the character of this podcast if we start staffing people early.
You're right. Because we have really great production value.
And we have no...
Preemptively. Because you need to have that to get the viewers.
I suppose. There's a case for
We
the
also haven't told
alternative.
anyone that we have a podcast, really.
Yeah, we've
It's
told
still
maybe
kind of
10
secretive
people.
because
It's a secret podcast, in a way,
my tummy hurts.
which is good and not good. However, I think we start staffing people. We could get... Oh, there's a writer strike. I was going to say we staff writers. But
Right.
we can't do that for the foreseeable future.
See, I don't understand why we can't staff writers, though, because we're not part of that. We're not part of that.
But if they're... Because we probably want union writers and they can't do that. I mean,
I don't need union writers.
Yeah.
I
that's
can't
fair.
afford union writers. Can you?
Well, I'm saying we just... Look, you can't live without debt. You want to buy a song on iTunes, you need to use a credit card. So I think that we just get into significant levels of debt that we cannot get out of, and it'll force us to really just go 100%. And that's my philosophy.
I've never heard him say that ever. I think that was an attention grab.
That is literally what we are doing. So yes, it is partly a joke, but
Aaron,
it is
it
partly...
feels like there are knives in my uterus right now. Ow. Like, it really started heating up.
Maybe if you put the candle on your stomach, it'll warm
I really
you up.
wish you bought me that heating bath that you forgot.
I'm sorry.
Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm
shit.
going to sit like this. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I think that's fine.
But fun
Yeah,
fact
that's
of the day, my abuelita thinks that Aaron can speak Spanish.
Why?
That's how we decided we were going to start this podcast because we were not going to film this week.
No, we were feeling...
We had a very busy week because my cousin and his wife, Charlie and Sandra, they haven't one of those names where like you just have to say them together.
Yes.
Charlie and Sandra.
Yeah,
I wonder if
totally.
people feel that way about us or if we're just full of ourselves.
I think without a doubt we are often paired.
Yeah, we are. Anyway, and their baby Mia, they came to visit us, and it was honestly one of the most lovely weekends.
It was great.
It was,
Everything went well.
everything went well, and I wish that
Nothing
I
went
wish
wrong.
it had been longer.
Yeah, I agree. I could have done many more days.
And I thought I would be like tense sleeping on the air mattress, but I was okay.
Especially that's the first night I was tossing and turning. The second night we were just out the whole
We were
day.
out cold.
So I was done for.
Yeah. You get tired really easily.
Me.
See, the thing about me is like you can tire me out in specific ways.
Right. What are those?
So either I do nothing all day and
Yeah.
I'm emotionally drained because I feel guilty about that, and then I feel like, where's my life headed?
Yeah.
Like yesterday, or I have to do things that I find productive.
Yes.
And then I have a beautiful, restful, but slightly anxious sleep that feels safe. So
That feels safe.
Safe, yeah.
Oh,
Because they can't be too at peace. Then I get
That's
anxious. I have to be slightly anxious to not get anxious.
that's so true. On days where there's nothing wrong, seemingly, and on days where we can just relax, those are recipes for Sophia's head.
But like yesterday, for example. Oh, okay. Yesterday was a hard day for me because I drank the night before, and I've kind of been realizing that I love the way alcohol makes me feel in the moment, and I love the social aspect of it because I do think that it helps you socialize and also puts you on a similar level with someone. So what I've
Sure.
realized about alcohol is it gives you a similarity in the moment that you otherwise didn't have.
Yeah, it brings it for people. I think of all personality type. Like for me, I'm introverted. I don't
Yeah.
particularly open up to people.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like if I drink, not a lot, but a little bit, I just feel the ability to, I mean, it's called liquid courage, right?
Yeah.
For a reason.
Anyway, but afterward, I get really, really, really anxious. And even if I had like 2 glasses of wine and a shot,
We had nothing.
which
really.
isn't that much for me. And
I feel like that's not a terrible amount.
for anyone, yeah. And it wasn't like I was really mixing alcohols or anything.
I had 2 when I was out cold. I fake took the shot that was
Where did you
demanded
put
of
it?
me. I just didn't drink it. Everyone.
Did you throw it? Like, were you one of those people that like throws
I
it
didn't
over your
throw
shoulder?
it because it was a clean place.
Yeah.
It was a clean place, so I didn't want to make it a
dirty place.
thing. So I just put it back on the table full.
And I
No one
bet
saw.
you that bartender drank it.
I'm those
He took
2,
a shot. He took a shot with everyone.
Those 2 were going crazy. That guy in particular.
The woman I wasn't
Yeah,
really.
she was doing fine. It was the guy.
She seemed very average.
It was when he took out the bongos. I was like,
It was when he
Jesus
took out
Christ.
the bongos that I realized I know many.
Yeah.
You know that character type.
You know exactly.
You know it.
Ponytail. Bongos. 100%. It works at a speakeasy, an underground thing. It was like a residential.
He
And
was
it
also so secretive about it.
I know.
Like, I felt kind of wrong walking in there.
Yeah.
Also, the residential area was just that little van. That seemed like a prop.
Definitely a prop.
It's
Well,
not-
do you remember in Succession when they have Tom's bachelor party
Yeah.
and it's like they go under the railroad? I was like, that's such bullshit. But then after that, I was like, oh, there are probably things like that.
There are. And I was trying, back to my abuelita, to explain, because she's trying to make me talk in Spanish to her now. Oh, you guys, I got so nervous talking to her the other day.
Oh my God.
And I was trying to explain this speakeasy to her in Spanish, and she...
do you know how to say speakeasy?
No.
Yeah. What? I don't even know.
No, most of my Spanish is talking around what I think a word is.
I didn't even know what speakeasy was until like 2 days ago.
It was so hard to describe to her. And I think after I spoke to her, and she's like, well, Aaron probably speaks just as good Spanish as Sophia
Why?
does.
Why does she think that?
Because mine's so bad.
What?
Wita, I think, wishes that everyone in her life just spoke Spanish. So I think she just thinks that everyone does.
That would make her life a lot easier.
Well, she also speaks fluent English.
She speaks great English.
Yeah. But I think it's like a compliment that she gives people, even if it's not true.
Like you seem like you.
Yeah, like, because she can't tell someone that they're beautiful if they're ugly, so she has to say that.
Wait, what?
I'm not saying that you're ugly. I think you're beautiful.
Let's rewind. Well, the last interaction
The last
we did
time.
have was her explaining to people that why I'm ugly right now.
Right. Do you want to share that?
Well, when I shaved my head for a role,
Oh my
not
God.
for a
Leela texted
predicament.
me today,
Yeah.
and she just texted me, no context. Remember when Aaron's head was shaved? And can I show the photo that I sent her?
Yeah, that's fine. Or we can have it up, or you want me to see it. So yeah, go
Okay,
take
I
a
want
look.
you to see it.
We'll
but
have a
then
photo of me.
We'll
and
have
my-
it up as well.
And my bald head. Oh my God! Yeah, what a time.
Anyway,
in our
tell the
lives.
story about what she said.
Yeah, so we're
we're at home and my head is shaved for a little play that I was in. Oh God, I look like
This was when is that our couch?
That's me. That was when we first bought the couch, and they only sent one half of it. So they only sent one half of this couch, and it looks terrible. Well, anyhow, Jesus Christ. Oh God.
It was a little stash that made it so much worse.
I look like a homeless Chinese man.
Can you please say what we thus said? So.
Well, you had relatives.
We had relatives visiting from Texas. And
Jesus. And the whole time.
And my aunt from Colombia.
Yes.
And
the whole time she was just explaining that I don't normally look like this. I don't normally have this type of hairstyle. My hair is usually longer. My hair is usually better looking. And it was not talked about at all that my head was, you know what I mean? Like,
no one brought it up.
No one
She
asked.
just needed to make it clear that you don't
just
normally
like,
look like that.
This homeless person that we are housing isn't usually that way.
Were we homeless at the time as well?
I looked like I could be in theory, this is a totally separate thought, but I've been thinking a lot about sort of, and maybe it's because we were talking with
FIFA for Mitch.
I it is what
Let's
it
just
is.
say names all over this podcast.
I'm saying
For Mitch.
that could be anybody, but we were talking, and is that okay?
Now it is.
I'll blur that. I'm blurring out the name. I'm blurring it out. Okay, it's been blurred. And we were talking on the couch. It's funny how everyone kind of takes turns talking to him. Everyone's like, okay, it's going to be you for 20 minutes. It's going to be you for 20 minutes. And then, I feel like it was an important part of me entering the family in a way.
This is making me so sad.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like we're shit talking on a dirtier level than usual.
This isn't me shit talking. Anyway, he was talking about how he was staying in, more in the south side of Los Angeles, and he was talking about homelessness. And that, I don't know, that got me thinking just about, people complain about homelessness, but if they were in homes, people would complain even more.
Yeah, because that happened in San Francisco, and that's why everyone says that San Francisco has such a bad homeless problem.
It's insane.
Yeah,
it's like
crazy.
If you see homeless people, it's only a problem when you see it, when it affects you. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm going down the street, it's like, oh my God, all these homeless people are ruining my day.
Yeah, well.
But if you saw a homeless person, like, in shelter, like in a store, in a gas station even, you go, oh God, Jesus Christ, I hope they don't ruin my day.
Yeah, I think
we need to do something about
people
this.
Get more upset when homeless people are housed as well.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Anyway, not to talk shop politics, I was thinking about that.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Made me a little made me nervous. Anyway, before we go any further, I just want to do a little public apology to you guys, but also to Sophia. We talked a lot about it. I don't know if you guys saw the last episode. There were some hiccups for about, as I was editing and reviewing, for maybe 30 minutes where I made Sophia cry.
Sob.
And I felt bad. I rewatched it. Oh, closer? Thank you. And I felt very bad. It was a little funny.
I am comedy gold when I cry.
You are comedy gold. You're comedy gold in general. You were saying, I can't ever play myself. I can't do anything comedic. There's something going on in there.
I think I can do comedy when I don't know that I'm doing comedy.
Yes.
If you follow me with the camera and make it a reality TV show, I genuinely think that you should do that, because I think when I'm older, I'll be big enough that it'll be like a turn in my career.
Right. A little shift.
People will be like, wow, she's a stand-up comedian.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding. I'm not that sad.
True. But what was I talking about? Oh, yes. Oh, my God. I just had like a double breath. Anyhow. Yeah, I felt bad.
I know.
I laughed a little. I felt very bad. So I would just like to publicly apologize.
Well, explain why you felt bad.
Because I feel like I overrided your segment.
And let me just say, we were talking with Charlie and Sandra about this incident.
Yes.
And I explained to them the history of Cinco de Mayo. And Aaron was shocked at the things that I was saying because he did not hear me when I was singing on the podcast.
What was the exact one? There was one where I was like, what? You didn't say that on the podcast. What was it?
I did say it on the podcast.
No,
I actually talked about a whole section about it.
You did, but that was what I said in the moment. What was it?
Said that the battle at Pueblo, which was on
May 5th?
Yes. Basically, it gave hope to a lot of Latin people who were living in California at the time, even though it was a battle in Mexico, because they thought, the Cinco de Mayo happened around the same time that abolition was happening.
Yes.
In America.
Yes.
So a lot of Latin people who were living in California at the time thought, and America at the time, thought that Napoleon was going to invade.
Yeah, I remember this.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And that he was going to support the Confederacy.
Right.
Yes. So that battle kind of, it showcased a lot, it gave a lot of hope to the abolitionists.
I remember that. Was there not something else that you said that you explained?
I think that's what it was.
Oh, I do remember that from the first one.
Really?
Which is great. Yeah. Anyway, I'll think about it. I'll see if it comes back. But yeah. No, anyway, I apologize.
Yeah.
I just want to make it known that I rewatched it and I was being a jerk.
It's
I was being a bad guy.
It's
being
fine.
a little bad guy over here.
It's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. Yeah. So
I'm not going to do history segments anymore.
No,
but,
I think we should still do.
I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it. Well, because the other day Aaron comes in and he's like, I really want to do an episode on Watergate.
I think that would be fun.
And that brought back a lot for me. He demolished my Cinco de Mayo podcast, and Watergate is apparently so much more important.
It's not more important. It's
you were like, he thought he had the most brilliant idea, even though I have been talking about history segments forever. It's just that it happened to start on Cinco de Mayo because that was the day that people were celebrating.
That's true. You're right. You're totally right.
Anyway, I do want to put the resources this time in the link because...
What resources are you talking about?
Because the LA Times podcast that I listen to.
Okay.
Specifically.
Great.
Because other people explain it so much more eloquently than I have.
Okay. Great.
And I do think it's important information that you all need to know.
Totally fair.
Yes.
And then they can study up so that in a year from now, we'll be totally informed.
Yeah.
So we can celebrate with the knowledge of the history we're celebrating.
Yeah. Or just, I think it's always special to think about the history of things on that day.
Totally.
I think it's important. And yeah.
So what's your favorite holiday then?
Easter.
Oh, that's a good one for that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a really special time in, even though I wasn't like super, super religious growing up where I'd go to church every week, I really did love the stories of the Bible. And I feel like on Easter...
They're pretty good.
Yeah. On Easter, it wasn't over commercialized where that was taken away. And it was more about the story. So I got really invested in that. Yeah. I'm a big Mary Magdalene fan.
Yeah, people love her, right?
Yeah.
Or no?
She was a sex worker who people think had a thing with Jesus.
Right.
And I think that if I was in that story, That's who I'd play.
Yeah, you'd be her for sure. I
Yeah.
totally agree.
I used to want to be, and I think I've said this on the podcast, Mary, the mother of Jesus.
You wish you were that now in real life.
Yeah, I do. But I wouldn't want to go through that, though, because I don't think I could have a child right now.
If it was the Son of God, if it was,
then of course I would do the service. I would do the service. Would you do the service? I think we've literally had this exact conversation.
If I were to
on the podcast before.
Really? I don't know if we have. If I were to hold Jesus inside of me?
No, if you were to be my husband. To save me from the shame.
Oh.
Though nowadays, like, it wouldn't really be shame. Everyone would just laugh at the fact that I said it was from God.
Yeah.
But honestly, everyone laughed at Mary back then too, so.
That makes sense.
I'm past my prime. I'm already 23, and she was 13 when she got pregnant, so.
Jesus Christ. She was 13?
Yeah, but it was a different time then. That's why I always think, like, the trauma her body must have carried.
So true.
She's a hero.
To, like, bear the Son of God?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Those cravings must have been insane.
I wonder what they were eating back then.
I know.
We should do a foodie little.
Probably like so much bread.
What would Jesus eat?
Yeah, probably a lot of.
He was Jewish,
Okay.
so they probably ate Jewish food.
He ate at the deli every morning. He ate the matzo ball soup. Jesus, come on. We gotta go to the deli to get the pastrami. Yeah, I don't know if that was.
Mary,
like-
the mother of God,
like-
was actually your father.
I don't know if Jewish food was like, you know.
as much of a thing back then.
Well, I think it was just food, right? I think that was just food
I don't know.
at the time. But
Anyway, do you think J-Lo is a good actress?
Pivot. Yes. Yeah. I mean, she's a performer. Am I like, is she the greatest of all time? No, absolutely not. But she's good.
Who do you think is the greatest of all time?
Mm,
I know what you're gonna say.
who do you think I'm going to say?
That guy, that method guy, who played Abraham Lincoln.
Nah.
Really?
Nah.
He's very good.
He's great. He's great.
He's very good. I can't tell you one thing that he's played aside from Abraham Lincoln. And honestly, I never saw that movie. I was just terrified of Abraham Lincoln as a kid.
Were you terrified of the movie at all? Does the movie make you nervous?
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
That's fair. There's a lot going on.
Specifically because I saw Abe Lincoln's ghost, and I think I said that on the podcast before as well.
You keep saying that. I don't remember that.
I've just told that story so many times.
Yeah, that's fair. I think you just saying that, it's been, you know, says it all. Totally says it all.
Right. This
So-
is like really pungent tea. I'm going to give you a little tip about my tea.
Okay. I would like to revisit what we were just talking about, but yeah, finish this thought.
Just when you give me peppermint tea, make sure it's not
Okay.
the candy peppermint on the box. It has to be the leaf peppermint on the box.
You mean so?
Because it makes it
that's-
different in taste. You bought me the candy peppermint on the box, which is fine. I'm going to drink it. I need it for my uterus, but you know.
Okay.
Anyway, continue of what
Mental
you
note.
who do you think the greatest actor of all time is?
My opinion, I think that it is when you just go, every single thing he's been in has been great, and it's kind of hard to pinpoint all the things he's been because he kind of disappears in films. I think Philip Seymour Hoffman.
But you know what?
What's up?
I want to see him do a Marvel movie.
Well, he's dead, so.
Not Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh. He did do a Mission Impossible movie,
Really?
and he was fucking great in it.
Well, that means he's a good actor.
He isn't?
He is.
He was like terrifying in it.
Wow.
Because they get, you know, like in the sides that we get where it's like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, I'm going to go to your house and I'm going to kill you in front of your, you know, it's like stupid shit.
Yeah.
He does it so fucking well.
Really?
It's because like if I were to get those sides, I'd be like really like daunting and scary and I would be like angry. He's just like, I'm going to go to your house. I'm going to kill your wife and I'm going to do it in front of you. And if you thought what I did before was bad, it's crazy.
Wow.
It's insane. His choices are wild. and they're really
surprising.
Because you wouldn't think that, especially if you're an actor reading that line. I would be like, oh, well, you could see how this could play out, and you could see how it could be really cheesy.
What's
just
his
doesn't.
name?
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
No,
Oh,
the other guy.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who are we talking about?
I'm talking about Philip Seymour Hoffman, not Daniel Day-Lewis.
I thought we were talking about Daniel Day-Lewis still.
This whole time, no, he has not done Mission Impossible.
That's who I was talking about. Philip Seymour Hoffman's. He seems, and maybe it's just because I watched Doubt, more like
True.
Meryl Streep, where like he's a great, wonderful actor, but he doesn't seem like he doesn't think he's above other people. He would do anything.
Yeah. He doesn't.
And he would do it well. Like, I think she's like that too, where she would do anything, and she does it for the sake of acting. Like, she doesn't do it for the sake of like celebrity, but she doesn't think she's above anything. I don't think.
Yeah, she has a good.
Which I like.
I like that too. Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis. It's like when, and I know Jeremy Strong gets a lot of shit.
Is he the one who didn't brush his teeth in The Crucible?
Daniel Day-Lewis?
Was that Tom Cruise? Who didn't brush their teeth when they did The Crucible?
I've never heard of this.
It was one actor.
I love how they thought that would help.
Because they were like really method, like living like they were in the time.
So they didn't brush.
Uh-huh.
Was that a particular character trait or just wasn't done in the time?
Just
so
wasn't done when they were shooting.
Wow. Okay. That's a very, I don't know if that would help you because your whole life you're used to brushing your teeth. So that would just fuck you up. Like the people back then, they all had fucked up. They didn't have teeth, but they grew up without it. You know, they grew up with fucked up teeth.
Yeah.
Because like you grow up with good teeth and then you just fuck it up for a few months. You know, dentists, they have to do that. They can't brush their teeth for a week. It's part of their schooling. I remember dentists used to come to my school like once every year.
Why?
And they would show photo. It's part of their practice. I don't know. It's like, I don't know if they still do it, but it was in part of dental school.
I went to dental school for my braces.
What?
Highly recommend that you do that.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Like, I went to a dental school to get my braces put on. It's way cheaper.
Oh, I thought you... I thought you went to school. That's what you made it sound like.
Could you imagine me doing anything like that?
I 100...
If I was a doctor, I would ruin so many lives.
I 100% can see you going to dentistry school to just get your braces on. Be like, I really want to learn. Yeah, so they will not brush their teeth for a week, and their gums are just destroyed, and they have to like take photos of it, which is a really fucked up, I think, thing to do. That you make that mandatory for your body. I feel like they can't do that anymore. Like I remember when my mom, when she was training to be a social worker,
right? She never became a social worker.
Oh, she was probation officer is like kind of like a social worker, at least in her branch of it. I almost don't. Anyway, whatever.
You don't want to say that?
No, it's fine.
Why?
It's totally fine. Anyhow, it's okay. When she was training for it,
you feel like you're outing your family by saying that?
No, not at all. Anyway,
because you're out mine all the time.
Well, good. I'm glad we're continuing to talk about it. That's good.
I just want to say that I think J-Lo is a fantastic actress.
Oh, she's great.
Anyway, continue about your dentistry.
But for when my mom was training, and she sat at a desk her whole career, occasionally go to the prison, interview, conduct interviews, you see people, that's it.
Are you worried that the prisoners will get her?
No. Part of her training was
what are you scared of?
Nothing.
What? I can smell your fear.
Huh? I just I feel like there's sometimes a stigma about probation officers. Like there's a negative connotation to the title is what I'm saying.
My father is a landlord.
Well, there you go.
So we both have dirty parents.
Yeah, but probation officers, all they do is
I think a landlord is worse.
Well, probation officers, she would essentially try to. It's almost like her job specifically was almost as a therapist to these people, where she would listen and write notes about.
Well, it's a
them.
good thing, right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is sometimes people, like in Shawshank, when it's like, "Do you grant me parole?" and they go, "No." Red.
Wait, your mom was the one who granted people parole?
No.
Whoa. Whoa.
No, that is a parole officer. I'm saying.
So then why do you think that she's going to be lumped in with those guys?
Now, what do you think a probation officer is? Someone who decides probation.
Like a social worker?
No.
Like she gives them little evaluations?
Right. I think people's understand.
I'm crying, but not because I'm sad.
I didn't mean for this to be a thing by overlooking. I thought I would move on, and then you would read that I would like to move on, and then you would move on too. So we're talking about the whole thing. That's good.
Are you uncomfortable?
Well, we're doing it now, so it doesn't really matter. What I'm saying is I think that people sometimes look at that particular title and they relate it to fucking cop or parole officer. And I'm not, anyway, I don't want, now this is a politics show. What
it
I'm
always
saying
was a
is,
politics show because
you're
if you
so
joke
right.
about something, it's still taking a side, Aaron.
Well, what I'm saying is her job was essentially a therapist to people who were convicted of crimes. She made no decisions about their ability to stay in or out of jail. Anyway.
So she was a social worker. Let's move on. I'm sorry. Aaron's mother is so lovely. She's like genuinely one of the most wonderful people that I've ever met. And the other day I heard them talking about food and it was really cute.
Okay. We're going to move on. For her training. I just want
you to know. I know she got tased.
No, she did not.
Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
She got pepper sprayed. Sorry, I keep interrupting you. I am pulling a Cinco de Mayo right now. Aaron, wait, no, come back. Aaron, I'm pulling a Cinco de Mayo and I'm really sorry. I'm going to shut my mouth. Shut up, Sophia.
Oh my God. She got pepper sprayed as a part of the training for her. You can speak now because now the story is basically almost over.
Mm-hmm.
In the training, they were like, okay, you don't have to, but we highly encourage you guys to know what it feels like. We're going to go down a line. We're going to pepper spray all of you in the face. It was like, can't be mandatory, you know? You can't mandate something like that.
But you look like a pussy if you don't do it.
Yeah, everyone else is doing it. It's always...
Oh, yeah. My mind's everywhere today. I just have a little tidbit about pussy if you want to know.
Well, now we have to do that.
No, I want to finish your story.
No, we're moving on to pussy.
Finish your story.
That's done.
Aaron, I'm really sorry,
pussy.
Aaron.
I don't care. We're moving on to pussy because there's no way that
No, she got pepper sprayed. Just keep going with it.
All I'm saying is that it's really weird that these professions that have not... You know what? We're moving on. Go to pussy.
That have nothing to do...
I was just going to say, there's this, remember Manchester by the Sea where he's just at the table with Patrick and, you know, he looks at him in the eye. He's like, Pa, why can't you, why can't you stay with me? And he's like, I can't beat it. This is one of those moments, but with this bit and segment that we're doing. We can't beat it. We have to move on. Go on to boozy.
Do you know? I learned this fun fact today.
Yes.
So I'm just going to tell this story because I think that my coworkers wouldn't mind and I'm not going to use their names. And this is going to get a little bit sexually graphic for those of you that are uncomfortable with that. Aaron, so turn that off if you can't handle the heat.
I can still hear you, though. That's the problem.
Do you not want to be here?
No, I do. Continue.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
So my coworker was explaining that she was having a sore throat from
Filleting.
fellatio.
Yeah.
Fellatio. And she thinks either she's getting sick or it's from fellatio. But she's also saying that she really enjoys giving fellatio. I don't like you. Giving head when she is high. And she had smoked.
Interesting.
And
in the way that she can get fixated on it or
yeah, she
relaxes
probably
her?
gets fixated on it,
This
I bet.
could be an oral fixation.
Yes, she said she has oral fixations when she gets high.
That's really fucked up. Not in a way that she's fucked up, but you know.
I think it's kind of nice. Like,
But in the way that, anyhow, we won't get into the.
No, in the way that what?
Well, it seems almost Oedipus-y, no? Oedipus-y.
I didn't think of it that way. No.
Well, if it's an oral fixation, that
Like a
comes
breast.
That comes from mama.
But it's when she's high only.
I don't know.
I feel like it's just I have a lot of oral fixations. I love I used to suck my thumb as a child.
Okay.
So that's an oral fixation.
Absolutely. No, I'm not saying that. That was an interesting that's an interesting thing.
Anyway, that's not even the interesting part. The point is that she was explaining this, and then my other coworker came in and was like, and I want you to be careful with this information. Okay?
Okay.
Did you know that men get throat cancer from eating too much pussy?
What?
Yeah, from
Where?
or not too much, just in general. You can get throat cancer from it.
You are going to ignite a warrior of fucking gym bro men.
I know, and I knew that I would by saying that, but like, didn't we want to talk about it?
I had no idea where this was going.
But then she proceeded to say that her husband was definitely going to get throat cancer, but I kind of already knew that. You know, she kind of gives those vibes, which is a good thing because she's a happy woman.
I've never heard of this, so this isn't me dismissing. How?
I don't know, but maybe we should do more research and put that on the history segment next time.
Right after Cinco de Mayo, we'll go resource about Cinco de Mayo, the history of Cinco de Mayo.
Well, last time we talked about vagina candles.
Abolition.
I hate the word vagina.
And then below it, we'll have sucking dick. Or
that was really hard for you to say.
No.
That was really hard for you to say. It's okay.
Where's my I wanted to fact check this. Could this even be possible?
Anyway, I didn't know if I wanted to say it on this podcast, but I don't think that our listeners are really like gym bros who don't like eating puss. But honestly, all the gym bros that I listen to really talk about like the sexuality of women. They normally don't get it right, but at least they're trying. I guess.
They're trying what?
I don't know. I feel like, should I have even brought up that topic?
A
Probably
team led by
not.
Virginia Drake of Johns Hopkins University has found that people who've had more than 10 previous oral sex partners in their life have a 4.3 times greater risk of developing HPV that leads to cancer.
Wait,
Everyone fucking has
Anyone?
HPV, though.
anyone who gives oral sex or just men?
Anyone.
Anyone on any body part?
What other body part?
A penis?
Yeah, it applies to both, it seems. Michael Douglas is shining the spotlight. What the why? Oral sex does not directly cause throat cancer, but it can spread HPV, and HPV can cause precancerous changes in cells that may lead to throat cancer. Everyone has HPV, though, right? Isn't that a thing? Don't most people have
No.
it?
If you have cold sores, you do. I don't. I don't.
I thought most people have HPV.
I don't know.
Like, I remember, and this could totally be, I remember HPV learning, this was in high school, but like HPV is like the most common thing you can get. Like most people have it.
It is. If you have cold sores, you have it.
So I think it's not.
Do you get cold sores? No, you don't.
I get canker sores, but that's like.
That's different.
Yeah. No, I don't get cold sores.
Then you don't have it.
No, it's. I think it's just related to HPV. I don't think it's like a. So
Okay.
let's clear the air.
I'm really sorry for
Cuts
putting that
both
out there,
ways.
but like I needed to throw Aaron a line. He was drowning.
What? That I was drowning? What?
You were drowning in the other thing that we were talking about, and I just had to say something spicy.
You wanted to lift me out. I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. But
Anyway,
let's
in doing
demystify.
that, I strengthened the patriarchy, and I apologize
100%.
for that.
And we're just gonna relinquish that.
I'm really sorry about that.
It's fine. It's literally fine. Yeah.
I'm Team Pussy.
100%.
Anyway.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It was a great segment. Anyway, yeah, I think we need to start. I think we should do another history podcast, but we should like devote it things we thought we were gonna do. That was our first Cinco de Mayo thing. That was our first time at it, and I didn't adequately prepare. I feel like I should have had questions for you to begin with.
I think that we should ask each other questions and actually prep this podcast fully.
To a T, though?
No, sometimes. Maybe every other podcast. Like, this is our Freebird one. You know what? I did not even worry about planning this one because I'm just in such a...
We're just shooting the caca.
My brain is foggy today. Really?
Your brain's foggy.
Is your sock off?
The bottom one, they can't see it.
That's not good.
Oh my god.
That's not good. Anyway.
You've been on something today.
Yeah. It's called PMSing, bitch.
That's fair.
I just want to say...
Holy shit. Holy fuck. Continue. Anyway.
I think that PMSing is a real thing, and you should make anyone make you feel invalid about it. I was at the gym today, and I felt like absolute crapola, as my mother would call it. And oh my gosh, people say that you should sync your workouts to your cycle, and I do kind of believe that because it was just, I was shaking, I was sweating like way more than anyone else in the gym. And I felt that I was about to birth someone out of my tummy. And I do kind of a little bit right now, but, you know, I know that it's a good thing.
What is that feeling?
Well, because it means that my period is coming.
Yes.
And I'm not, in fact, pregnant.
Right. That in this case is a plus.
Yeah.
In this specific
case.
Yeah.
But
That's
happy
fair.
Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers.
That was yesterday. My sister stole my gift, and I'm not mad about it, but she did.
I mean, the fact that you asked her to bring it in for you.
I knew it was wrong, but my dad is not conspicuous.
But I don't think it necessarily mattered. In a way.
I didn't want her to get it 2 days before.
No, that's fair. I'm just saying.
And my dad was with her, and he's like, hey, kiddo.
I'm just saying if your sister brings it in, she's going to take it.
You're right. I knew what I was getting myself into, but I hope that my sister's happy. I really do. I really do.
Yeah, that's really nice of you.
Um.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm glad. What else? Well, you know, it is what it is. Fuck, I was going to say something right before we went on this next tangent. We're talking about... No, it's gone. That's okay.
Well, maybe we should wrap this thing up anyhow. It's 15 minutes.
50?
Yeah.
That's way longer than we wanted to do.
It's way longer than we anticipated.
Fuck, I really had something I wanted to say.
It was about Nixon.
No, it was not about Nixon.
I'm sorry. I feel like I took this one away from you.
It's okay. We needed to,
But you kind of owed me one.
We needed to have a moment of equilibrium, and I understand. And you know what? I will.
I disagree with everything that I said on this podcast. Don't quote me, please, on anything.
Well, I feel like the things that we did go in depth on that were incorrect, we fixed really quickly. Like I did Google the most controversial thing I think you brought up.
Yeah. But we're gonna research next time.
Ah,
We're
fuck,
gonna
I really wanted to
I'm so
talk about
sorry,
something
Aaron.
so
I'm
bad.
So sorry. We're out of time though.
Yeah, you're right.
Was it about your feet?
No, it wasn't about my feet.
When the cameras go off.
Don't even. Don't even do that.
I do think it's time to end this though, because if you can't think of it, then it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna come. He probably wanted to talk about Succession. He probably wanted to talk about Jeremy Strong. He probably wanted to talk about. I don't know. Aaron likes to talk about actors and the news and current events, and I like to talk about my pussy. So
I'm gonna remember in an hour, and then I'm gonna.
Don't do that.
Be too late.
The Windex.
Don't even. Okay.
This is it. This is over. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. I think it was slightly Aaron.